Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now July 30th of 2023. We're in the last couple of days now this month as we head into August, where Disney's going through a very rough year for 2023. There's no doubt about this. Everything that happened with Indy 5 to Elemental to The Little Mermaid, the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, now the Haunted Mansion, and the upcoming Marvels, and let's not forget about Snow White 2024. It's not looking good for both Bob Iger and the Disney board, that's for sure. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter, or if you want to call it X now. And let's get right to the subject, alright? So we know that we have a lot of things happening with Bob Iger and the Disney board. They're both in a constant shakeup, alright? Now there's a certain amount of board members that are 100% against Iger, others of which are giving him the benefit of the doubt. Those are the ones that really want to see what Iger can do with things like the Disney parks, the Haunted Mansion movie, the Marvels, as well as Snow White and Wish on the horizon, alright? But when it comes down to Snow White 2024, there's something really shady going on right now for Disney and their overall emergency plan that took place during one of their emergency meetings, by the way, that enhanced and got updated, and I think it's even all the more embarrassing for the company, and you're going to begin to see this by this September once the official trailer debuts, and exactly how it's going to be presented to the general public, how the overall marketing is going to be displayed to everybody around the globe from September until March progressively. Now that is of course if they don't delay it, which by the way they are discussing matters about that too, but let's go further. Now with Snow White gaining more backlash every single day for Disney and Bob Iger to handle, Disney has been heading into more damage control surrounding this movie. One major development is that the latest Snow White emergency meeting got an even worse update for the film. Right now, Iger and the board are preparing to initiate a plan to stabilize the backlash for this film even further, as they now have a mapped out strategy to re-edit the entire film from start to finish. However, their new marketing plan is to hide their full agenda in all the trailers and TV spots in a very interesting way, I guess you could put it, and how they are planning to actually hide everything with their full agenda through the trailers and the TV spots to make it appear closest to the original as possible for those that grew up with the film in order to eventually get people into the theater seats. As for the Seven Dwarfs, part of their plan with the footage to be presented to the public is that they will be avoiding specific scenes showcasing all the seven dwarfs where they are all grouped together where you can count them. This way it is harder for the public to guess or get an easy idea that they are indeed the reimagined seven dwarfs. The upcoming trailers and TV spots will have reduced footage of the dwarfs regardless, but that will only contain shots in which they are all separated to make them appear like their own characters. So let me pause here quick before we get to the next thing, because there's more to talk about than this. Basically what they're doing with the Seven Dwarfs in the upcoming trailers and TV spots, they are separating them. So you're going to have little shots here and there where you see two of them, where maybe you see three of them, but you're never going to see all seven grouped up together like in that leaked photograph. And they know, at least they believe, that the majority of the general public did not see those leaked photographs, which, you know, who knows, may or may not be true. I know this was a wide, mainstream media news piece, so I'm sure everyone saw it. But when you look at stuff like this is a very shady strategy. The fact that they are actually ungrouping the seven dwarfs and dividing them up into specific shots where they're not all grouped up together as seven, but instead in twos or threes. And it's gonna be their attempt to make it harder for people that may have not seen those leaked photos to guess that they are the reimagined seven dwarfs. That to me is a very lame strategy. I don't know why they're going forward with that and they think they're going to get away with it, because people are going to call it out. People are going to analyze this. The mainstream media is going to pick it up, and it's just going to get exposed anyway. So it's useless to do this. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't even know how Disney thinks this way anymore, but when you look at stuff like this just goes to show you that they are doing anything and anything possible to make this movie at least somewhat doable. as far as the marketing goes. But I digress. Let's go into this further. Now, the plan by Disney is to showcase shots where 2 dwarfs are next to each other or 3 in other scenes to make it more difficult. Additionally, the same will be applied on upcoming promotional work like posters and art for those characters. The names of these characters will also be excluded from trailers. Disney already canceled out and deleted 2 major songs from Snow White 2024 that they believe would cause wide criticism, and the plan is to create new music once the strike comes to a close, since those songs need to be written first and later recorded and then edited to match the film. This is a movie by Disney that can best be considered embarrassing as a business move, as they are hiding key scenes from the general public of what's in the film at all costs. Iger and the board have been discussing delaying the film as well. Now, look, delaying this movie is not out of the realm of possibility, because the Marvels is already facing this, because the writer's strike and everything happening with that is kind of messing around with the whole marketing team and the strategy for that film. And so it may very well get pushed. Honestly, the fact that it may get pushed into 2024, it's gonna impact a lot of films, and it creates a domino effect. This is why I've always said that once one film goes, a lot of others go too, if it gets too extreme. So, for example, if the Marvels gets pushed or delayed until, let's just say, February of 2024, it's gonna definitely impact, quite possibly, Snow White getting pushed until April or maybe even May, if it's too close to each other like that. So that's why they're really kind of on the fence on whether or not they want to delay the Marvels or they just want to keep it as is for now. But as far as this strategy with the 7 dwarfs, guys, let me just say something about this, is that this is just utterly ridiculous. Like I said before, it's a useless attempt. Everyone's going to call it out, and not just people on social media, but people in the mainstream media that pick it up from people on social media. And so it's all going to go full circle. It's going to reach almost everybody, to the point where people are going to see what Disney's up to and what they are doing with these marketing strategies to do anything that they can. This reminds me low-key of what they did. A lot of people were bringing this up to me with the Barbie movie. This is not Disney, by the way, but with the Barbie film, yeah, it was presented as something else, and then when you go in there, they mention the patriarchy like multiple times, more than you can count. But when you look at this, though, Snow White 2024 is really just a hot mess. It really is. They don't know what they're doing when it comes to the re-edits, which is not going to save this film. Any planned reshoots are not going to save this movie. I know I've said this several times, but Jason Acuna himself is, brilliant. He really gave it out there and, told us like it is. All we have to do is just reshoot the entire movie, Batgirl the Thing, just recast and call it a day. And that's what I said, Batgirl this movie. If it can happen with Batgirl, it can happen with this. There's no excuse. So, anyway, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.